In 2022, I did a live stream for DAZ 3D in which I'm showing you how to adjust clothing in DAZ Studio, namely this one here, the one that's called Adjusting Clothing Techniques in the Studio with DAZ 3D. So summer 2022. 3 years later, now in 2025, my supporter Nick says to me, hey, you never explained how to adjust the bra strap. Even though I've explained the principles, I haven't quite talked about the bra strap. So I thought, hey, I'm going to dedicate a whole episode to that topic and to you, Nick, in particular, and hopefully we can sort this out. So here is an example of how a strap from a dress can come down, and I'm going to show you how to create that. So it being a morph, it's not really suitable for animation because when I move it halfway, you can see that if I don't let go of the slider, it sort of stays in the shoulder. If I take it away, then it snaps out, and that's thanks to the smoothing modifier in DAZ Studio. But if you did want to animate this, this is probably not a great technique for that. But for a still image in situ, this is something that you can use. So I'm going to show you how to do this in Blender because that's what Nick is using, but that is probably in 2025 not what I would be using anymore. So let me show you first what I would do right now. Instead of using sculpting or vertex tools, which is what Blender can offer, I probably would use Marvelous Designer for this. And let me show you how cool that is, just so that you can see several options. So we're going to go through Marvelous Designer, Blender vertex tools, and also Blender sculpting tools. This is just a demo character that that's going to assist us here. This is the figure. That's the avatar that you would import. And in Marvelous Designer, you would then also import another OBJ, which would be the item of clothing that you would want to finagle. And in this case, it's going to be an ad and it's going to be a garment. And the garment is going to be the thing that we can simulate. So this is what that looks. And if I do nothing else and just hit the space bar, in fact, I'm going to go switch this over to CPU because it's a very low res garment here. If I press the space bar, then we can see that this piece of clothing is simulating. So this doesn't work with every item of clothing, but if I go and reset that and pin some of the bits and pieces here, this is the pin tool here. Just grab a box and pin this and that, and maybe also here, this and that. Pinning is a technique in which these things are not simulated, or this is where the garment is essentially frozen. Now this is going to stay in place, and I can go over to my quick pinching tool, and I can go and do anything I want with any strap. And the cool thing about that is the simulation is basically happening the way I want it. So this is also good for pulling up clothing or making trouser legs sort of scrunched up and whatnot, getting undress morphs done. This is all done in Marvelous Designer, and this is a really good technique. If you haven't looked into Marvelous Designer, this is something I would strongly recommend. If you do a lot of clothing adjustments, this can help you out a lot. One thing you might want to be aware of, I can see this gap here between the avatar and the garment. If you go and select the avatar, down here at the bottom, there's a skin offset in millimeters. You can set that to something lower. 0 is usually a bit too low. If I do that, then there's literally no gap between the garment and the clothing, and that sometimes causes poke through. But if you go and set that to like 0.5 millimeter, 0.5 or 1 millimeter, that's gonna look really nice. So yeah, with this, you can then go and grab something and drag it halfway down, hold down space, and then that simulation is frozen like this, and then you can export the garment again and import it as a morph. So that's something how I would do it today, because Marvelous Design is just very, well, marvelous, so to say. But it's not for everyone, and it's also another subscription software. So if you don't have that cash, or if you don't have that much need for it, then, hear me out and see what we can do with this. So I was going to show you this in DAZ Studio 2025 at first, but then I realized the DAZ to Blender bridge does not work. So I'm going to show you this in DAZ Studio 4.24 instead. So I'm going to go and delete my hair from the figure here, just because that makes export a little bit faster. I'm going to select the top node of my figure. Oh yes, also this is a morph that we're going to make for an in situ thing. So this is not something that you should apply to the base character of your figure, but once the character is already posed. So pose, do everything that you need to do, and then go and do this so that you can adjust this just for this one scene. This is not going to be a universal morph. This is going to be a morph that you'll be able to use just for this one particular scene. So select the top node of your figure, and then with the DAZ to Blender bridge installed, head over to File, Export, and then you just pick the Blender format. This is different to the send to Blender option, so don't use that. That gives you a control rig. We're going to use this new version, which is file export, and then at the bottom here, I'm going to go and call this one Brianna 4. I've done some tests here before, and then at the bottom here at save type, just pick blend file here. And that will bring up a dialog where we can leave everything unticked because that's exactly what we need. Asset name is fine, and this is the path to the executable of your Blender version. I've got an older version here, but that's fine. This is just a command line tool that gets executed under the hood, so that we have that export functionality. And once that's done, click OK, and it shows us where the file is. So I'm going to go copy my path out here, open up the Blender. I'm going to use Blender 4.4.3 for this. Don't save this, and here it is. Brianna 4 is what we've saved here. When I bring that in, this is what we see in Blender. We thankfully don't need to concern ourselves with the bones, so I'm going to go and switch those off up here. We do, however, want to see something that isn't just shiny bright silver, so I'm going to switch to the unlit view here, viewport shading material preview. Give that a second to compile, and then we should see our figure. So for this to work, I'm going to go and select the swimsuit in question, and then I'm going to go and press 1 on the numpad. So I'm going to look straight front at the figure. If you make the following changes here, the way I'm making them with the figure not exactly from the front, it's going to be very unpredictable what the result is going to be. So 1 on the numpad will look straight at the front of the figure. I'm going to show you vertex editing tools first. So let's tab to get into that, and you can see that the bathing suit is changing position slightly. So that's something to be aware of. In the sculpting mode I'm going to show you next, this isn't going to happen. So do that, then I'm going to press A to unselect everything, Alt Z to go into ghost mode so that we see both the front and the back side of the polygons, and I'm going to go and just drag a little box around the top part here that I want to adjust. By doing so, I will make sure that I select both the front and the back and the top of the strap and not just the visible vertices here. Then I'm going to press O, that goes into this proportional editing mode here, and then I'm going to press G, and that will now, well, move the whole bathing suit away. Have a look at this value here at the top and scroll the mouse wheel until the circle gets small enough so that it fits on the screen, and then adjust it so that only a portion of the strap is moving like you want it to. So this is the sort of size of my cursor that I need here. So I'm going to go and just click undo that so that just I have that size there, and I'm instead of pressing G to grab, I'm going to actually press R and rotate that around because I think I want the strap to sort of move like this. And I'm doing this all with looking from the front. 1 on the numpad. Then I'm going to press G and move that further over here, rotate a little bit more, G further over here. I might just leave that there, go into ghost mode again and just grab a few of these vertices, or even better, go hit Control- on the numpad to select less so that you only have this, and then press G again and just finagle your way into this so that eventually you're going to come up with the perfect position. So this probably needs a bit of adjustment as well, like this. And it's a bit of a patience game, but eventually you're gonna be in a position where that strap looks very handsome, and that's just with the vertex tools. So slide it down as much or as little as you need, and that's essentially how we do that. Press Tab again to get out of edit mode, and that's basically it. So you'll see that it doesn't quite fit, and this is you can go back into edit mode and finagle this some more, or you can just use the sculpting tools either in combination with or without combination with the vertex editing tools to get the result that you want. So this is where Marvelous Designer is a little bit easier, but it doesn't work with every mesh. So, case by case basis. So if we wanted to finish this off with sculpting tools, head over here into the sculpting workflow. So make sure the suit is still selected, head over to sculpting, and in Blender 4.3, the sculpting tools have changed a little bit. Or was it in 4.2? I think 4.2 may have introduced that change where the brushes are now at the bottom here, at the bottom shelf. They're not on the side anymore. On the side, we now have other sort of helpful things that used to be in the menus here. A little bit of feature creep here. Are we taking less and less room of the of the viewport away? But hey, that's totally fine. So the one that I like using, I'm going to go and click into this little icon here and click names so that I can see something meaningful appear here. And I'm going to go and search for elastic. And then the first one here, that's the elastic grab. That's a really good brush to use for that. Even with the default values, it's going to work fine. F to make that a little bit larger. You can go and left click and drag the clothing out where it needs to be. And this works in world space rather than screen space, so that makes it very nice. So that was a very nice finishing touch here. But you can make all kinds of adjustments with this. So bulge things out, move things further down, and move things. Maybe this could be closer to the body. It depends on what you need here. The other brush that I would suggest you look into is, of course, the smoothing brush, and that's one that is a little bit strong by default. So if you select that, you can see here on the right hand side it's 0.7 by default. That's way too strong. So 0.2 is much nicer there. When you select that, you can go and get rid of some of these kinks that you can see here. Make that a little bit more rounded edges. If you do too much, it'll also destroy form. So if you go and look at this detail here, if I go and use my smooth brush here, you will see that the stitches and all that's going to deform a little bit. But if you use it with caution, with like a low value, it's gonna be fine, just fine. So that's bra strap sort of down. Now we go back into the layout mode and export this out. If you use the DAZ to Blender bridge, you'll already have taken care of the resolution. So you can just go and with this suit selected, file, export wavefront OBJ here. Make sure selection only is selected, and we're gonna go and call this one bra strap down demo perhaps, and everything else can stay the same. Just make a mental note of the scale. It's set to 1, selection only, export that out as OBJ. And then meanwhile in DAZ Studio 4.24, you could also import this in DAZ Studio 2026. You just can't export it from there with the DAZ to Blender bridge at the time I'm recording this video. Select the swimsuit here, very important, and then you go into either use the shortcut here, which is the Morphloader Pro dialog, or head over to Edit Object Shape, and there's Morphloader Pro over here. Then we go and choose the file. So this was the bra strap down demo, and all we need to do in this dialog here is that we make sure reverse deformations is enabled, and deltas only doesn't make a big difference. That should just work. Oh yeah, one other thing very important at the top here, make sure you pick the correct scale. So we've exported it from Blender with the scale of 1, so that means we shouldn't pick the Blender preset, because that's of course still broken and will always remain broken. We're gonna have to pick something that has meters, like a Modo will work fine. Except that gives us that success message, and then up here we have that bra strap demo. Perfect. And then the usual parameter settings, you don't want this to go into the minimum. Now that sort of works. So that is how you do it. Go practice with that. The tools I've shown you can be applied to basically any clothing adjustment that you want to do. It doesn't matter if it's straps or trouser legs or skirts or whatnot. This is basically all you do. Vertex editing tools in conjunction with sculpting tools, or you can just use sculpting tools. And also, if Blender is not your tool, then pick something else. ZBrush will do the trick. Even Hexagon still works in this day and age with the integration bidirectional, like I've shown you on the stream. I hope that clears that up. If you have any more questions, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.